I know what golfers love. They love discovering new places to play and stay and create memories, and that's exactly what we have in store for you on today's program. 2 championship golf courses, a region where the portions of food are gigantic, and the memories you'll make with your friends are, well, somewhat legendary. Say hello to my little friend as today we introduce you to golf and fun in the West Branch region of Michigan.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, celebrating our 20th season of shining the spotlight on the best places to stay, play, and enjoy the greatest game on earth. Stay connected 24/7 to MGL on Facebook, Twitter, our weekly radio show, and podcasts on the all-new 4golfersnetwork.com.
Hello, friends, and welcome into the program. I'm Bill Hobson, and it's great to have you along with us. And man, oh man, I am reminded once again of how blessed Michigan is to have natural waterways and this kind of beauty pretty much everywhere. And today, we're going to showcase some of that beauty in the form of 2 championship golf courses, as well as a lot of other activities you can enjoy when you don't have clubs in your hand. We've brought the cameras to a little place on I-75 right between exits 212 and 215. Many of you have driven past it on your vacation trips, and now it's time for you to stop and set up shop in West Branch. It's the home of a lot of fun, including 2 championship courses called the Dream and the Nightmare. So we're going to start off our tour of West Branch on the course at the Dream. We are blessed to have a guided tour of both the Dream and the Nightmare today, provided by Director of Golf, Kyle Middleton. How are you doing, man?
Good, how are you, Bill?
I am doing well, and for so many people in our viewing audience, they have driven by one of these courses, they may not even know which one, for years and years on I-75. What have they seen from the highway?
That is the Dream. That was the course that first was established here in 1997, and that's been our biggest billboard. You know, all that traffic that goes by sees holes 5 and 16 on the Dream. You know, people drive by all the time and say, we haven't played you. We drive by every year on our way up to the UP, and we're starting to get quite a few of those people to stop in and give our courses a try.
Yeah, the parking lot at both courses is full, and everybody who got that little glimpse will be glad to know that in the next few moments we're going to show you the rest of the holes. So let's start here at the Dream, right on number 1. Give us a little strategy and how this course flows, because of the 2, this one might be a little bit more difficult just from a tightness standpoint, but man, is it beautiful.
Yep, you know, not too tight by any means, still very forgiving off the tee here, but definitely a little bit more tree line than the Nightmare. You'll see that as we play throughout our round. First hole here at the Dream, short par 5, gives you a very good scoring opportunity. You know, from the white tees, it is about 450 yards, dog leg to your right. You can really let it go with your driver. Try to stay in the middle of the fairway if you're trying to play it safe, and if you want to get.
I always try to stay in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, but if you want to really try to get that home in 2, or really make a good score in that hole, you can try to cut to the right side a little bit better, right side of the fairway, and that definitely gives you a little bit shorter shot into the green on number 1. And as we go to number 2, here more blind shots, got a couple more dog legs in the Nightmare. So 2 up a hill a little bit, again very forgiving off the tee. A lot of the holes here are guarded with bunkers. You kind of have to pay attention to that as you play, throughout your round. And that's one of the things we hear from a lot of the golfers too is, you really have to play this course a couple times. A couple blind shots, a couple dog legs that you really, got to run through here once or twice to really know where to hit it.
But I have noticed that they're not unfair. It's not the kind where if you didn't know exactly where to put it, you're going to end up penalized in some way. It's just next time you'll hit it a little bit differently. And another aspect of the Dream that jumps out to me right away is the conditioning. This place is in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, very good shape. That's what we pride ourselves in. Dan Darcy, Justin Bickles, our superintendent, and spend a lot of time, a lot of man hours, keeping these courses in tip-top shape.
All right, let's pick it up on 4. We're getting out to this part of the course where you can start to hear a little bit of I-75 nearby, and you're coming to that place you've seen for years.
Yep, getting close to the expressway there. Number 4, you got a dog leg left, kind of down the hill. Again, a hole, if you want to be aggressive, you can really rip it off the tee with your driver. If you're able to hit a draw or a little bit of a hook, you can get a little bit of roll and end up down by the green. If not, you can leave yourself a little bit of a difficult shot downhill, downhill lie into a very large green.
So we get on to number 5. What are we looking at?
Yep, that's the fountain hole that you see from the expressway, par 3.
It's a beauty.
Very not not too difficult of a hole, but if you don't catch it just right, you can definitely leave yourself in some trouble with the water and bunker short of the green there.
We're going to jump ahead to number 7. Beautiful golf hole.
Yep, number 7 again, one of those holes you really if you haven't played here before, you can hit it right in the middle of the fairway. If you're a little bit longer hitter and want to try to cut some distance off of it, you can carry some trees to the left and leave yourself a shorter shot in. Again, very large green depending on where the pin is that day. Very big false front on it. So,
all right, number 9, round out the front.
Again, another par 5. The par 5s here are a little bit on the shorter side, so reachable and 2 for a lot of people. Again, one of those holes that you really can't see the green from the tee. Play from the middle of the fairway. You got yourself a long iron or a wood in, guarded by some bunkers. So
Really enjoy the back 9 here. You start right off on number 10. And by the way, you can keep driver in your hands as much as you want to. If you're playing the white tees, it still gives you plenty of opportunity to rip it.
Yep.
But you don't have to. You don't have to be super long.
Nope, and that's, the Nightmare is a little bit longer than here, but again, not too challenging, not too tight where you feel like you have to hit an iron off every tee. Going to number 11, again, short par 5, reachable in 2, pretty much straight ahead of you on that one. You can see everything laid out and everything run towards the green. So, get something in the fairway and it'll run out for you. Leave yourself a mid to long iron in your hand hitting into number 11.
Let's jump ahead to number 14. What is the director of golf's advice for that beauty?
Yeah, once we get there, again, one of those holes you can't really see the green off the tee. Dogleg to the right a little bit. Start hearing a little bit of that sound from the expressway. Play it safe, left side if you're trying to keep it in the fairway. You can get a little bit more aggressive, hit it down the right side if you're trying to cut some distance off of it. But again, very large green, able to see everything once you get down around the corner. So not too difficult of an approach shot. Hopefully you're able to put a wedge in your hand and get something close on that shot.
It's a really pretty stretch of the golf course too. I mean, it's just flat out beautiful along with being challenging.
Yep, and that's what we're told with seeing those holes there.
We get to 15, and that's the one that we have at least seen the green of driving by for years, but not many people know the strategy of 15.
Right, and that's our best advertising there. People driving south on I-75 see 15 green. That's our big billboard right behind that.
We get to this closing stretch, the 3 home holes, and 16 is a good scoring chance.
Yep, 16, another short par 5 here at the Dream. Just depending on how you want to attack it. Driver off the tee for most guys. If you're able to hit the fairway, you leave yourself an iron or a hybrid into that green. 17 will give you a little test of your mid to long iron game. Yep, it's a longer par 3. Not an easy hole by any means. No water or anything on that hole, but just some bunkers. But it is a test of your long iron ability on number 17.
There's a little bit of sand there.
Yep, it's if definitely one of those holes you want to make sure you get it to the green.
Number 18 is a beautiful hole. As you look at it from the tee box, you're going to go down into the valley, and then your approach comes back up to close things out.
Yep, it's very pretty hole, but pretty difficult too, as we experienced out there. Driver off the tee, again, you kind of go down into a valley and then hitting up into an elevated green. Definitely one of the tougher approach shots on number 18 here. If you leave yourself short, it's going to roll back down and you still got a long pitch shot heading into the green.
I think one of the features that every golfer talks about, regardless of which of the courses they played, is the quality of the greens. That's not easy to maintain, and they are as good as you're going to play anywhere. So what's the secret?
It's the same thing with every other part of the golf course. It's attention to detail, and it's hard work. Constantly trying to improve and communicating with everybody that's working at it. The guy mowing the green, the guy rolling the green, the guy cutting the cups, the spray tech. Everyone has to be on the same page. So lots of communication and people who care. Everybody on my team cares.
Oh, get in
and it shows.
Come on, Paul. All right, we're giving you the rest of that one, Kyle. What a beautiful golf course this is here on the Dream. Thank you for the tour.
Thank you very much.
We're going to see you again a little bit later on in the program because there's a pair of golf courses, the Dream you just saw, and the Nightmare coming up in a few moments. But first, when we come back, we'll show you some of the fun you can have off the golf course in the West Branch area, so stick around. Welcome back into the show. I'm Bill Hobson, and we are having a blast taking you on a guided tour of the golf and fun you can enjoy in the West Branch area. So we're going to leave the golf courses for just a couple of moments and go off-roading a bit as we demonstrate the fun you can have when your round is over in West Branch. Now, not every waking moment you spend in West Branch will be on the golf course. So if only there was somebody nearby who could help paint the picture for what we can do away from the course. Here she is now, Vicki Seltz-Barnes from the West Branch Visitors Bureau.
Hi,
it's good
how
to
you
see you.
doing?
Let's go for a walk, shall we?
Okay, we shall. This is the place to do it.
Pull back the curtain on this hidden secret in West Branch.
It's the best secret around, but we're trying to get it out. That's why you're here.
Well, we have so many people who just drive through, maybe stop for gas and a quick bite. What are they missing out on if they don't spend some more time here?
Well, they're missing out on a lot of things. Here, in particular, is the Toll-Free Wellness Park, and it has been created for patients and visitors and staff here at the Mid-Michigan Medical Center. However, it's open to the public now.
When we're not in the park, what else is there to do in West Branch?
Well, West Branch has a lot of great things to do. A great brewery, we have wine tasting, there's another park, Irons Park right downtown, the river runs through it, there's a big pavilion, basketball, tennis courts. So like you said, we're right off exit 212 and 215, we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Either way you get to us.
This beautiful area of parks and recreation, Officer Hines, is pretty hard to beat. What's special about it for you?
Well, what's special about Ambrose Lake is it's off the beaten path. It provides a little bit of tranquility and rustic campground setting. You got the lake in the background. They've got about 2,000 acres worth of state land and trails. There is an ORV trailhead nearby for ORV enthusiasts that like to come up and have a peaceful place to get away and do a little recreating, kayaking and boating and such, and a lot of good fishing opportunities too.
This entire West Branch region has such a rich history in timber, in logging, and I know that's part of what you like to celebrate in that historical museum.
Yes, we do. The loggers came into this area and because of the prevalence of the white pine. So they logged it out. Then we started with farming. But as you can see in this beautiful setting, there's still all kinds of trees and stuff left in here.
How do you celebrate that at the museum?
Well, we have several driving tours that we have for people to come out and do self-tours. And it'll take you through the area of Ogemaw County. It's just not West Branch, the whole Ogemaw County scenario. And it takes you to different spots. Like in this particular area that we're at is the 10th stop in this driving tour book, and it's about the CCC camp, which was a Civil Conservation Corps. And we had our own camp right here in Ogemaw County.
So any visitors that go around town and they see some classic old black and white photos of lumber days, that's why.
Yes, yes. And we restore and preserve the heritage of Ogemaw County.
There is no golf trip to West Branch complete without diving into the delicacies offered at the Lumberjack Restaurant. And while we're in the Lumberjack, let me introduce you to Emil Rousseau, who manages not only the restaurant, but kind of this whole lodging complex here, right?
Sure, yeah. This with a couple other hotels, which makes up the hospitality division for Forward.
So let's go into the Lumberjack first, because we know we have a lot of golfers watching. We want them to be part of stay and play packages, and golfers love to eat. You've got some pretty good looking things here. A dainty one to start us off here, this sandwich.
Well, this sandwich actually becomes a challenge for a lot of the golfers because once they see it, they come in. A lot of times what we see is one will go out, people ask, what is it? Then the next one's rolling, the next one is rolling, and you'll see the guys, golfers, have this competitive edge for some reason. And so you see them do that on the golf course, but when you see them do it in the restaurant, how fast can I beat you to eat this, and how many can you eat? And I've seen people finish it. I don't know how, but yeah, I think it's that whole challenge aspect that makes them do it.
So we're in the Lumberjack Restaurant, and this is?
The Lumberjack Burger.
Yeah, this is like in honor of Paul Bunyan, right?
Oh yeah, well, big food, big appetites. You know, the big thing about this burger, a couple burger patties, bacon, roast beef, mushrooms, onions, 3 cheeses. We stacked it up just so you're not missing anything.
You're definitely not missing anything. Continue the tour here. What's in front of you?
Well, our barbecued mac and cheese, barbecued pork on mac and cheese. Odd combination when you say it. Once you eat it, It's one of those things where that last bite you wish you had more, right?
Now we're getting into some comfort food over here.
Well, this recipe actually was found in a lumber camp. Meatloaf, you can't go wrong. It's a lumberjack favorite. You have to have it. Over on the other side here is the sawmill. The sawmill is smoked sausage, locally made, of course. Michigan made even better.
Now we get to the classic grandma's pot roast comfort food.
It's a mainstay, been at Lumberjack ever since its inception. Very simple. You know, we put it in the night before, so it cooks for about 12 hours. The test is if you could put a fork in there and pick a piece out, that's when it's done.
We now head to the centerpiece of this table. And I don't know how well this comes across on camera, but this Oreo base peanut butter cup ice cream pie, when I had it a few weeks ago, quickly became my new favorite dessert. And it's only here at the Lumberjack.
Yeah, we make it in-house. Actually, it's a Chef Drew specialty. He does it well. What's fun about this pie is that we have half orders of it and full orders of it. When those half orders look a little bit too small, I'm usually first in line.
Thank you for the tour of the restaurant. We also want to make sure everybody's aware of stay and play opportunities, so let's touch on the hotels.
Stay and play, you know, the beautiful thing about West Branch is we're halfway between Mackinac and Detroit, so it doesn't matter if you're coming from the UP or come from the South. We're that good halfway point. We have a couple great championship golf courses. The large pool we have is great for the kids if you want to bring the kids up. But that halfway point, I think, is our trademark. And then partner with some of the best in the business, you can never go wrong.
Well, you mentioned those two championship courses. Earlier in the program, we showed you the Dream. Coming up next, we head over to the Nightmare, the sister course just about a mile away, and it is beautiful. Take my word for it. We'll get there just as soon as I finish the lumberjack sandwich and the ice cream pie, so it should only be a few hours till we're back. Welcome back to the show. I'm Bill Hobson, and we are having a fantastic time showcasing golf and fun that you can enjoy in the West Branch area. My friends, it is hard to beat a day like this in pure Michigan. We're going to leave the lake for just a couple of moments, though, and head back to the golf course because now it's time to visit the Nightmare. And by the way, don't be thrown off by the name. This is one fantastic golf course. Earlier in the show at the Dream, you met Kyle Middleton, the director of golf for the Dream, and now we welcome him back to talk about the Nightmare.
Hi, Bill.
I got to tell you something. When we pull into this property, down that long winding road, you are automatically struck by how beautiful this course is. And for a lot of people who've driven by the area for a lot of years, they didn't have any idea.
Right.
This is a stunning golf course.
Yep, it's you know, a lot of acreage here, cut out of the wood, so when you're out here playing, you really feel like you're the only one out here, and that's kind of what we strive for when the owners built the course. You know, when you're out here playing, we could have 160 people out on the course, and you really only see your group and the group ahead of you. So it's kind of unique, very open fairways, very forgiving, and that's what it was built for. You know, forgiveness, playability, to help get the golfers through here and not spend 5.5, 6 hours out on the course.
A couple of things that I noticed as you and I make our way around the Nightmare, along with the beauty. The conditioning is fantastic. These greens are as good as a private club anywhere, and they're also pretty large greens. So I'm thinking the short game might need to be in good order.
Yep, the grounds crew, Justin Bickle, our superintendent, and his crew do a great job. Really pride ourselves in the condition of the course. Like you had mentioned, the greens are very large, so you know, you might hit a lot of greens in regulation, but you might have a few 3-putts in there as well. So, you know, you really got to pay attention to the undulation and surface. And, you know, I've played out here a lot, and you really have putts that you could be out here playing your 10th time and, you know, really not see the break.
Well, you and I teed it up starting right on number 1. So let me have you walk us tee to green through 1 and then through some of your other favorite holes on the front.
1, again, very playable, you know, wide fairway, and, you know, all of the par 4s and 5s here, driver off the tee, you know, really don't have any tight tree-lined fairways that you really have to take an iron.
There's no target
out.
golf.
Right, it's, you know, grip it and rip it, and that's what we really, you know, try to, again, do is, you know, not slow up the pace of play. 3, when you get there, that's kind of the beast on the front, you know, pretty long par 4, uphill. But again, you know, just driver off the tee and just try to get the distance down on your second shot.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I should tell everybody that when Kyle says grip it and rip it, his definition of ripping it is really pretty impressive. It's usually about 70 yards past my definition of ripping it, so you're a big hitter, but I have found that even with the distance that I hit the ball, this is a very fair golf course. You don't have to be Kyle Middleton to enjoy the Nightmare.
Right.
Well, let's make the turn. Take us out on number 10 and bring us on through the back.
Yep, so when you get to the back, getting a couple easy holes to start off, a short par 4, drivable for most people. You can get to 11, short par 5. A lot of people can reach in 2, and then a par 3. So again, kind of going back to very playable. You can score pretty well on the back. That leads you to 13 and 14. 13, wide fairway. And then as we had saw, 14, very guarded par 3, 200 plus yard, depending on what tee you're playing, guarded by a peninsula of water behind it. And
beautiful hole.
Right, exactly.
Beautiful golf hole.
Yep.
I noticed on 15 that there's a sizable bunker guarding the left front of that green, and it's beautifully framed kind of back in the wooded setting.
Yeah. And again, when you're out there, we could have a full course and you really see your group and the group ahead of you, and you get that real up north feel when you're out here playing.
Number 16, how do you describe it?
Risk reward hole there, shorter par 4, but again, the water behind the green so people can drive, kind of tails off to the right side of the fairway too, so even if you hit a little short, sometimes you lose some balls kind of running down into the water there.
Number 17, long hole, but it also has a unique feature in that it shares the green with number 7. So
Yep.
you kind of have this long complex there, and you make sure you play to the correct flag. It's fairly obvious,
Right,
but just in case anybody wondered.
Yep, and that's unique to our course. I've never seen any other courses with that, but 7 and 17 share a green, and just another fun addition to the course while you're out here playing.
When we come to the home hole, chance to get that driver out and let her rip one more time.
Yep.
But there's some adventure along the way. If you don't hit it in the middle like you always do, if you maybe put it in the bunker like I did, then it gets a little dicey.
Yeah, long hole. Again, a lot of the par 5s here are quite long, considerably longer than the Dream. Some people can get home in 2, not very many as it plays uphill, but a false front heading into that green, so got to make sure you get your ball up to the second tier if it's not a red flag. And again, just one of those things that hopefully you can swing away and hit a fairway.
We were talking earlier in the show about how you'll get a lot of golfers who play the Dream and the Nightmare either on their way further north or on their way back home. And we're trying to make the point that you can make West Branch your destination. You don't have to drive by.
Yep, and we get both. We get a lot of groups that will go up I-75 to Gaylord, to Garland, wherever they're going, and they'll play us on a Thursday on one of the courses on the way up, and then again on Sunday on the way home. Well, we do get a lot of groups that come here and play just our courses. They'll stay for 3 or 4 days and make a weekend of it, and it's special courses.
One of my favorite aspects of the story of the Dream and the Nightmare is that it's a family affair, and the brothers are the family, along with the rest of their families. This is Dan and Darcy Kudamash, and man, you guys are blessed with 2 incredible courses. I hope people appreciate how good the Dream and the Nightmare are. You've been working at this for a while.
Yeah, our whole lives.
That's a while.
Long time.
How did it all start?
It started with my grandfather, who was in the excavating business and decided to purchase about 120 acres in Pink County. Came home, told his wife, who passed my grandma, and said, I'm gonna build a golf course. Had all the equipment, built it. We just celebrated the 50th anniversary there and last week, so they started in 1971.
How did the names, the Dream and the Nightmare, come about?
Well, my dad and my uncle always wanted to further the Green Hills experience and wanted to build their own. So when they built the Dream, they had the name, and then the Nightmare was just something to kind of go with it, just a play on the name.
And it's important to point out that the Nightmare is not a nightmare.
No.
It's a fantastic golf course.
It's just a name. That was my dad's thing, and I told him, "You sure you want to name it that?" Because you people, I had this lady today come in there, and she's like, "I don't know if I'm really excited to play a course called the Nightmare."
Right.
And I said, "It's just a name." I said, "It's very friendly. It's just a name." And she goes, "Okay." She's out there probably on the back 9, so I'll let her know when she comes in what she really thinks. But all in all, it's just a name, and it's not a nightmare.
We started this show on the water in a kayak, and we ended on the water here on beautiful Clear Lake. And